Hello everyone, I'm Trang, I'm Learning Experience Designer. Welcome all of you to today's event. So normally, you remember when we have face-to-face class, students kind of really enjoy the break time, right? I remember from my own experience, I just can't wait to go to class because I can hang out with my friends. I can chit chat with them. I can connect with them. However, when we switch to online teaching, it's kind of take away that opportunity for the students. Mostly the students just join the class to kind of learn the knowledge and skills. They don't have a lot of opportunities to connect with each other, especially based on common interests. So that is why it's very important that we create that space on digital platforms so that our students can have opportunities to connect with each other. Okay, so how could we do that on digital platforms? How could we create opportunities for students to connect together based on common interests? Dung shared her experience that we can make them co-create something like drawing a picture by using annotated Zoom. Very nice idea. I do it before they start the class, a picture related to the topic. Yeah, I think that activity can both create relatedness between the teachers and students and also among the students themselves. Brilliant idea. Okay, someone say group work like our rooms in Zoom. Okay, brainstorming, assign tasks in pairs, groups. Yes, that's right. So try to create collaborative learning opportunities for them so that they can hang out with each other and talk to each other, right? So on digital platforms, try to create some fun time for students to hang out digitally so that they don't just have to talk about school and work because they really need that space. And they really need the space without the supervision of the adults. Because if they know that the teacher is there, then they will not be able to hang out with each other and feel comfortable with that. Another thing is when it comes to studying, create a collaborative learning experience like project-based learning or game-based learning. That is the way for them to collaborate with each other and connect with each other more. So how could we create fun time for students to hang out digitally? Let me share with you my experience with my work at the moment. So currently I'm the program manager at Wisely Academy. And so at Wisely Academy, we organize seminars for young professionals in Southeast Asia. And when we do the survey with our target participants, they said that they really hunger for a chance to socialize and network with each other. So that's why we decided to use this tool. It's called kumospace. And this is a virtual networking tool for people to get to know each other, to come together. So we can create different rooms for participants to join. And in each room, they can hang out with each other. They can talk to each other. They can even sit on the couch and chit chat about whatever they're interested in. They can also have drinks. You can see me grabbing a beer. I know that if your students is the age is not appropriate for drinking, then you can switch to that Coke. But in this case, they are adults, so they're gonna have drinks. So that is the way for us to kind of create try to mimic the physical location for the networking event, and we can still hang out with each other. And so this is the networking stage where the speaker or any student can come on stage and also perform or speak to each other. What can we do for the tools like Zoom or Microsoft Teams? How can we create fun space for students? Okay, today I'm going to share with you an activity on Zoom or Microsoft Teams that you can use to kind of create the connection among the students themselves. And because I read on the registration form, a lot of you complain that the students are not willing to turn on the camera in class. So I think, how about we kind of be more creative in a way that we can motivate students to turn on the camera without forcing them to do so. And this can be also an activity for students to connect with each other in class. That is by creating themes for the class for virtual background. Each week, you can choose a theme for your class and the students can be creative in choosing their virtual background. And you can have some time at the beginning of the class to chit chat about the theme of the day. And you can even choose the theme that is related to the subject if you want. And the students can share their creativity and their amazing work with each other. That way they can be super proud and willing to turn on the camera. So for example, if it's Halloween, the students can choose some Zoom backgrounds from Canva like this, cute one. This is like a little bit scarier. Or they can even choose to use videos as their virtual background. And then to talk to them at the beginning of the class about their virtual background. So the students, they really hunger for something interesting, some surprises, something that makes them less bored. So if you can create some space, educational space, safe space for them to showcase their creativity rather than forcing them to turn on their camera, that will be a better way for them to be motivated in learning. Okay, so that is for the connection among the students themselves. How can we create relatedness between the students and the learning material? Make sure that the learning materials will match the students' interests and encourage participation. All right, so the question is, how can we make sure that our learning materials match the students' interests? Let me give you an example. So most of my experiences are with adult learners. However, there was one time when I had to teach 14 years old students English. And you remember that like teenagers, they are quite challenging, right? And at that time, my students, they were like very tired and like overloaded with work at school already. Then they were not willing to join any class at all. So that's why I decided that, yeah, they are kind of tired already. They are overloaded already. So my responsibility is to not make this class like a very, very formal class. I have to make it a fun class so that they can relax at the same time. So I spent some time talking to them and also talking to their parents, and even like let them describe their bedrooms a little bit, because like most of the kids' interests can be seen from their bedrooms. And then I noticed that they have pictures of Blackpink all over the walls of their bedroom. So that's why I decided to use Blackpink as the theme for the class. And then later on, when they could go to class, chat about Blackpink and learning English at the same time, join various fun activities together, talking about Blackpink, games about Blackpink, like joining challenges about Blackpink and stuff like that. They really, really enjoy the class and they couldn't wait to go to the class. So that is my experience when we could find the learning materials that really match the students' interests. All right, so now it's your job to practice with your own students, okay? So close your eyes, put yourself in your student's shoes, write down the key characteristics you think your students have, what matters to them, and what they care about. And once you're done, just share your experience in the chat box so that everyone can reflect on your experience and their experience as well. Okay, so let's listen to music and we are doing that. Just wait a minute. Aren't these just your assumptions? So we kind of try to put ourselves in the student's shoes. That is great. And come up with the things that we think our students have and our students do, our students like, but these are still just the assumptions. What do you think that we should do to test our assumptions, to make sure that we don't have wrong assumptions when we design the lesson or the learning experience? So here's some of my suggestions. Of course, survey is the very, very easy to do one, right? So if you don't have time, if you feel like you're in a rush and you cannot do other methods, then survey is a very, very effective one for you to get some ideas about your students. Another way is, and I find this one to be very, very powerful, that is talking to our students. And the formal language for this method is called interview. But like when it comes to teachers and students, try to remove the formal barrier. So that's why I called it talking to your students rather than doing interviews. So try to find a very comfortable environment. If not offline, then digitally is fine, so that you can talk to your students, to know their feelings, to know about their interests, their hobbies before you design the lesson. That is going to be the best way for you to kind of make sure that you design what matters to them. And if not, then you can do that during the lesson as well, like after the class, or if you have some break time that you can talk to your students. That would be the best. And another way is to be immersed in their environment, even digitally. So like for me, I really enjoy like going to different Facebook groups, or when I was in the US, I used Twitter and Reddit to kind of find the interest of different groups of learners. But mostly in Vietnam, we use Facebook. So I go to the Facebook groups and enjoy the groups that my students, my target students will enjoy. So I could see like what their interests are, what they're talking about, what their problems are, so that I can design the materials that could really match their interests. If you can use the learning management system or some learning tools in your class, then you can have analytics from the learning management system. And this one is very powerful as well, because it kind of provides you not only with the knowledge, with the information about your students before the class, but also during the class. And you can test out some of your assumptions and hypotheses and some of your ideas using the analytics from these tools. For example, this is a screenshot from Canvas system, when you can know what your students view the most. And of course that like they won't view the course homepage and the syllabus, for example, like that. But other than that, if you design a bunch of pages and you will see, you want to see like which one interests them, then you can easily read the analytics from these tools or learning management systems, so that you will know like the types of content that will interest your students. Another way is to do interactive polling right in the middle of the class. And to me, this is very powerful as well, because it not only kind of helps you know the interests of your students, but also for you to engage them right in the class, right in the learning experience. And actually, we're going to try it right now. Okay, so now I'm going to launch a poll. And what I want you to do is to share what have been your favorite moments so far in this event. Okay, whether your favorite moments are the activity with online teaching means, or making students feel related by using conversational style, or activity to put ourselves in the student's shoes, or the method to understand our students. Okay, so let's pick your favorite moments in this event. So you can see that like a lot of people really like the part about how we can make the students feel related by using our conversational style, right? And the other one is the method to understand our students, what we are talking about right now, okay? So this is an example for you to see like what it's like to kind of carry out interactive polling right in the middle of the class. So you can know like your students' interests and what they care about, what really excites them and engage them when you are teaching them. So the more you understand about your students, the better you can help them feel related and motivate them. Use survey, interview methods to understand students' interests. Utilize interactive tools so students can participate in class and combine text and visuals in the learning material, because no one wants to read a lot of text in the learning material. All right, so I've just covered relatedness, how to motivate students on digital platforms, how to create relatedness between the students and the teachers, the students and the classmates, and also the students and the learning materials. And now, before we move to autonomy and competence, let's have some time for Q&A. And then after the Q&A part, we will have 5 minutes break before we move to autonomy and competence.